Okay, so concussion in childhood and adolescence has increased massively in terms of the ED admissions over the past 5 to 10 years. And the highest rates of concussion are actually found in these young groups. And really, given the rapid neurodevelopmental change that occurs during childhood, this places this group at greater risk for post-concussive symptoms. We know that concussion affects brain structure, the white matter pathways that connect the different areas, as well as hemodynamics and cerebrovascular reactivity. But what about neurophysiological firing, neural activity? So we used MEG, magnetoencephalography, which is a technique related to EEG, which records rapid neural firing in the brain up to 1,000 times per second routinely. So we scanned 11 children and adolescents with a concussion within the past 2 years, and we compared this with 20 typical peers. And what we found is that very slow activity in the brain was increased in the children with a concussion. So this is this slow, rhythmic activity in the brain. This is upregulated. Conversely, when we look at very fast, rapid activity in the brain, we found that this was decreased in our concussion group. So it's not just a case of one thing happening in one place at one time. A brain injury does seem to differentially affect very, very slow brain activity and very, very rapid brain activity. And then when we looked at how different areas of the brain communicated with one another using this type of activity, we also found that that was decreased in the concussion group. And rather than being in the frontal cortex, like we might have suspected, an area that does seem to be susceptible to these MTBIs, it was actually posteriorly located. So this is pretty consistent with what we see in adults. It suggests that there's disruption to both local and large-scale neural circuits. We see a slowing of neural function, which is often observed in adults. And really, this seems to be confined for the most part to the visual cortex, at least in this small sample. So in the future, we'll look at how injury affects the development of these brain circuits. Thank you.